startups and MSMEs. So currently we have around 200 members onboarded with us. And apart from that, we also are connected to 5,000 other MSMEs. So we help them with networking. Our core strength is to connect those MSMEs and connect those startups to the right people. And we are like a community, we are a family where we help each other, and we just bring out the best out of everyone. Like people generally ask us that why should we join CSMB, what is in for us, and what should we do. So we tell them that if you need anything related to food industry, related to nutraceutical, we are also entering into cosmetics and pharma. You just name it and we'll give you connects. Now related to GST changes, or it can be FSSAI changes, you name it and we have those connects, because the directors of the company and also our president, Mr. Nilesh Lele sir, chairman Dr. Prabodh Halde, they have been working in this food industry for a very long time. And we just want that we are able to help and extend that help to the members and to everyone who is in contact with CSMB. So as you can see, we work with MSMEs, we work with farmers. We empower farmers to become entrepreneurs. We also have a women's cell which is led by none other than Dr. Madhuri Lele, and she's here with us today. She will be extending a warm welcome to you as well, the Suresh sir. So we help women entrepreneurs, we help tribal women and self help groups to grow and thrive. So we also collaborate with a lot of exposed, like Informa Markets and Anuga and like everything, Colin Messi. So we are globally available, we are globally there, we are globally present to make an impact, because we really want to extend our help to every MSMEs out there in whichever way we can. We host many sessions, we host our foundation day, we take our members overseas to give them international exposure and everything. So this is at Propac Bangkok, and recently at Anuga 2025, we had a pavilion wherein 8 of our members were in there. Nilesh Lele sir was also a part of a panel discussion. And yeah, the story goes on. We have Food Tech Pathshala, which is our training partner. We collaborate with industries, and we also collaborate with universities, colleges, and help them with industrial visits, internships and WAC courses, everything. So yeah, Women's Cell, Purna Brahma magazine, where we uh, extend, like we reach out to our members, we reach out to other people, so that they can give their articles, they can promote their brand, and basically they can do everything they want to do with us to grow their business. So yeah, we have empowered approximately 2000 entrepreneurs, 500 women entrepreneurs, and startups is something that we already work on. So we have personally, and we have dedicated our time to 150 startups already. So that's how we work. So if I would urge everyone to be present here, to please join CSMB. And not only you need our help, but we also need your help. We need your expertise, like how we have Dr. Suresh with us. That expertise, that knowledge, and that experience helps us to stand out from other organizations, or to stand out in the crowd. So yeah, that is all about CSMA. Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite Madhuri ma'am to please extend a warm welcome to Dr. Suresh. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Suresh.
Morning.
It's our pleasure and good luck that a person of your uh, competence and background. I've seen your background and you have won many awards, and I'm sure uh, this webinar will be uploaded on our YouTube and our website, and a lot of students forthcoming younger generation would look into it, because I feel that this is a need of our country, and we are saying that we are progressing in all field, and I think this is a very basic uh, kind of area where we need more and more people taking interest and following a path like what you have done so far. So, thank you very much for sparing time for joining us, and most welcome. And now we are waiting to listen from you. Thanks to all the participants who have joined us. And as Shivanshi mentioned already, we look forward for your joining CSMB and contributing to what we are all doing. So, welcome, Dr. Suresh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madhuri Madam and Nilesh. So, we have been, we have entered into an MOU formally with CSMB in the month of January 2025, and since then we have been trying to connect with the broader platform. I hope my screen is visible, right? You're able to. Hello. Are you
Yes,
able to?
no, we are waiting. Yeah, now it's up.
Yeah. So the title for the talk today is Sustainable Innovations in Chemicals and Materials, because sustainable development is a very familiar term. I am very sure that most of the MSME agencies and the people here are well familiar with the sustainable development. It means different to people working in different areas. So as towards chemicals and materials, what sustainability means. So I will be highlighting some of the developments in chemicals and materials that I have been pursuing in the past few years as part of CSIR laboratories. Currently, I am affiliated with the Material Science and Technology Division of CSIR and NIST, and happy to present this talk in collaboration with the CSMB, that is Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses. Right? Yeah. So as many of you may be familiar, just a brief introduction to CSIR, and this CSIR was established in 1942, and there are 37 laboratories situated throughout India. Situated throughout India in different areas of biological, chemical, engineering, information, and physical sciences. So our NIST is situated in the southmost end of Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. So this was just a brief introduction to the genesis. It was started in 1975 as industrial testing and research laboratory, and then it was renamed as Regional Research Laboratory in 1978, and then in 2007 it was renamed as National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, and this is the main building currently the institute is situated. So these are our different areas available at the NISTs. One is the agro and food processing technology, then artificial intelligence and machine learning unit. This is recently started, last just 2 years before only it was started. Then Center for Sustainable Energy Technologies, which focus specifically on energy materials and devices like photovoltaics, thermoelectrics, green hydrogen, and then chemical science and technology, which looks into different aspects of organic chemistry and process chemistry along with functional materials. Then we have an environmental technology division, and the material science and technology division where I am affiliated is one of the largest division with around 20 scientists. We work in different areas of minerals, alloys, and composites, then polymers, electronic materials, coatings, and pigment. And then there is also a microbial process and technology division, which looks into fermentation and biochemicals, biomass derived chemicals, UGL. So if you look at the Indian scenario of the chemical industry is one of the major contributor to the Indian economy. And here itself, again, there are different subclasses, and the specialty chemical is one of the important, which contributes a major share to the manufacturing sector. And if you look at the technology vision of India by 2000, there is a focus to strengthen the manufacturing base through innovation, driven clean and lean process for chemicals. And India will be a global leader in the manufacture of value-added textile, leather, apparel, integration of available capacities, and then human resource development, along with the best environmental practices. So it will be more knowledge driven for accelerated growth. And this challenge, the current challenges is that currently most of these technologies are based on petrochemical resources, and they are not renewable, on fossil based. So there is a push to look into renewable feedstocks for energy, as well as chemicals or materials development. And this one of the suggested approaches is to develop new processes for the specialty chemicals, as well as with reduced environmental contribution and lower operating costs and minimal plant inventories. So as a chemist or material scientist, sustainability means it is chemistry that contributes to meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And the sustainable chemistry, where we derive the different chemicals required for materials and through appropriate process development. So as I mentioned, sustainable state is characterized by a healthy and efficient means that is well for or good for the economic growth, as well as for the society and environment. So here the reason for this sustainability approach is, as I already mentioned, and there is a push towards non-renewable, non-fossil based resources, where the fossil resources are expected to be depleted by 2035, or in another 10 years time. So this is a specific example of a renewable resource-based approach for specialty chemicals. That is by adopting a biorefinery approach, which is analogous to the traditional petroleum refineries for different fraction of compounds. For example, the biomass needed for this it will be raw shells of the cashew. The cashew, after extraction of the kernel part for edible purposes, the shell contains some oil which is subjected to pre-treatment and can be primarily separated mainly into two products, that is cashew nut shell liquid and then cardamom. These two are the primary products obtained from the cashew shell. And there can be the secondary biorefinery products, like you can convert to various chemicals required, for example, in polyols for polyurethane preparation is used. Then epoxy resins can be developed. You can develop acrylate monomers, curing agents, and so it is appropriately separated and purified. And then the second conversion, this is converted into a final product. For example, one important product will be polyurethanes in the form of dispersions, which are used in various applications. So I will come into some of these technology details for few of these products. So this is the research area which I have been pursuing, is developing polymers from renewable resources. So we can develop new monomers and studying their structure, as well as how it influences the properties, and how controlling the properties through appropriate polymerization techniques or methods of making. So if you look at the cashew nut shell, this is the fruit on which the nut will be there, and inside the part we will be extracting for edible purpose. And the shell oil is basically composed of different components of a phenol, that is cardinol is the major component after purification, and then a little bit 10 to 20% of carbol, that is a dihydroxyphenol. So this structural combination offers a lot of opportunities for the synthetic chemist or material scientist. So we have developed different products from, as I already mentioned, from cardinol to develop surfactants, epoxy resins, acrylate. Then foam, polyurethane foams can be made. Then polyurethane dispersion can be made. Epoxy curing agent is possible. So some of these earlier developments have also been published. And then another application of these derivatives will be as an additive for the rubber industry. For example, you may be aware that the rubber industry, the rubber product manufacturer uses a lot of processing oils to facilitate better processing. So different type of vegetables towards sustainability is more. Different vegetable oils have been used for this purpose, and they are not competing with the petroleum products, so they can improve some of the properties. And so we have developed a process for this rubber process oil, and it is available for joint development and commercialization. So this is some recent review highlighting the significance of different classes of bio-based or green alternatives as processing aids for rubber. For example, in tire application, the traditional mineral oils, naphthenic, paraffinic, are used as process oil. They are carcinogenic or contain carcinogenic compounds, and they are also non-sustainable. Whereas the bio-based process oils are sustainable, environment friendly. And most common examples used for these purposes are the triglyceride oils like castor oil or epoxidized oils. The industry sector is also projected to grow. There are several market research reports available on this, and it is predicting considerable growth in this area in the coming years. So this is some results of the evaluation of the process oil that we have developed based on cashew nut shell oil. How it imparts the properties. These are basically the cured rubber properties that is being textured. That is the optimum cure time, then the time for different properties, then the hardness, abrasion resistance, tensile strength, all these properties are tested. So if you compare the property with a standard petroleum-based oil, you can see that, for example, if you take the cure time alone, it decreases by at least half a minute. So this will be one favorable property to of the bio-based oil, that it reduces the curing time, and also it may be helpful in decreasing the concentration of some of the common additives like accelerators. Accelerators are normally added to rubber compound. So if you use this bio-based oil, the faster curing may be advantageous, and also it improves some of the properties like without affecting other properties adversely. So this is a one of the technology brochures that is I have been mentioning. We have converted the cashew nut shell oil to polyols for polyurethane, which can be converted to the polyurethane foam or the polyurethane dispersion, and then using commercially available chemicals like hydrogen peroxide. This is if you compare the cost of this product in comparison with the petroleum base, it is around 100 and 120 rupees per kg based on the costing we have done. And it is advantages are the improved mechanical and corrosion resistance properties when used in polyurethane preparation. And it offers the formulation flexibility. We can also, depending upon the method selected for the modification, we can adjust the hydroxyl value to some extent. For example, the polyols, for polyurethanes, various products are there. Foams are there, coatings are there, adhesives are there. Then if you look at the hydroxyl value of the polyol used in its synthesis, there is some variation. So we can adjust this hydroxyl value. So it offers flexibility to formulate foams or adhesives accordingly, and it imparts excellent adhesion properties. And then another feature is the water resistant, because many of the petroleum polyols like polyester polyols are not good resistant to hydrolysis. So this is not a problem with the natural based polyol, and we can help support with the product stabilization as well as the properties like improved tears properties. So the as I mentioned, the important features are the very high functionality. Hydroxyl will vary from 140 to around 400 milligram kWh per gram. and then good thermal stability, hydraulic stability, water resistance, then environmental friendly process, and it is not subject to the price fluctuations exhibited by the crude oil. And some of these earlier inventions have been patented. Of course, these patents are not currently active. So we have demonstrated this process to 500 grams to 1 kg batch, and then the polyurethane synthesized have been compared with the commercially available products for selected properties. So another application would be for these polyurethane products is in the leather sector. So it is one of the important contributors to the national economy, where about 45 lakh people are employed by the MSME sector and all. And this sector is also shown to exhibit considerable growth in the coming years. So it has application in almost all the sectors like footwear, apparel, automotive industries. And there are the major players are international companies like Clarion, then Stahl, Covestro, Lindopil, the Indian companies there. These are the acrylic binders are also available from leather from different companies. So the leather, as I have already mentioned, it is the global trade value approximately $100 billion per year. By 2020, China and India accounted for more than 30% of the global leather production. So the leather industry consumes a lot of polymer emulsions, and it contributes to about 2% of the GDP, and about 45 lakh people are employed, and it is exhibiting double-digit growth. And the focus on leather that is more sustainable would be using these sustainable bio-based polyurethanes for leather finishing and coating applications. And it will be also helpful to meet the country's requirement actually marching towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. So the drive for these sustainable chemicals is the reduced VOC emissions, and also the solvent-based polyurethanes coating their replacement by waterborne coatings. And there are several market research reports available which predicts double-digit growth in the polyurethane dispersion market. So these are, if you consider polyurethane dispersions, now there are different types of polyurethane dispersion depending upon the method of making and the stabilization mechanism, because a polyurethane dispersion is basically a dispersion of the polyurethane in water. So it can be anionic, and then color is important, then the total solids content, how much is present in the water medium, pH. These are some of the important parameters which can be adjusted when you make a polyurethane dispersion. And the properties, film properties like elastomeric flexibility, all these are affected by the incorporation of the bio-based additives. And it can have applications ranging from construction to rubber, metal, and textile or wood industry. Here again, the market research reports are available. So this is basically the process used to make a polyurethane dispersion. That is, we combine the isocyanate and the polyol under appropriate conditions, and part of this polyol or fully can be replaced by the vegetable oil-based polyol, depending upon the properties. So the advantage of going for this bio-based or vegetable oil-based polyol is that it substantially reduces the greenhouse gas emissions in the production of the polyol that is currently being used, and it can have applications I have already highlighted in automotive, seating, and flooring applications. So we have also developed this technology. We have come up with a product brochure. It is cardinal polyol modified polyurethane dispersion. It shows some special properties like fluorescence, so which may be useful in formulating some of the properties. So the advantages are the formulation flexibility, then better film formation, because normally in polyurethane dispersions, we add some low molecular weight additives that is classified as VOCs. So this can be avoided in the case of biopolyol modified polyurethane dispersion, and the properties like adhesion strength, thermal stability, water resistance, hydrolytic stability, and one unique property that we have observed is fluorescent property. This may be useful when you formulate some inks. If you want to formulate some fluorescent ink or fluorescent detection techniques for some particular products, this will be advantageous. So it can go into all the applications, leather coatings, sealants, then textile coating application, or as a rubbery material. So the advantage is that currently the polyurethane dispersion cost is around 400 rupees per kg. So we can have a 200 to 250 rupees per kg. We can have these dispersions process developed in the laboratory. And it's the advantages features have already been highlighted. So that is it. Another class of polymeric materials which I have been working on for the past few years is emulsion polymerizations, which are again another class of important materials. So we have focused on the synthesis, developing additives for latex synthesis, and how these new additives are influencing the latex preparation as well as the properties. And also we can make some nanocomposite materials using this technique. So if you look at latex polymer, the particles, latex particles or polymer particles are dispersed in the aqueous medium. So when the water evaporates, the particles comes in close contact, and then close packing of the particle, then the disappearance of the boundary between the particles. And then finally we end up with a homogeneous film or a slightly heterogeneous film. For example, in a latex which is synthesized by conventional surfactants like sodium lauryl sulfate. So there is chances of accumulation of the surfactant when a film is formed. So this is not good for the final film properties where moisture absorption can take place, and that will reduce the adhesion and film failure can occur. For example, if you develop some surfactants based on this cashew nut shell liquid, then it can have a uniform because of its structural features and the participation during the synthesis, it can get uniformly distributed in the film, and then the water resistance properties are improved. So it is just a schematic to explain how the film formation from a waterborne latex takes place and how the film properties are influenced. So we have also developed the processes for Korshel type of polymer emulsions. For example, fluorine containing and acrylate type of Korshel emulsions, where the acrylate polymer may be situated in the core and the fluorine containing. There are different conditions for this. One consideration is because the fluoromonomers are relatively costly, so the concentration will be limited, and the acrylate monomers are very common. And also the fluorinated monomers are used for improving the hydrophobicity of these dispersions and oleophobicity, and so thereby we can develop low surface energy films with excellent chemical resistance and thermal stability. Sorry. So here again we have developed processes based on 500 gram scale, and this process could also be used to develop plastic pigments with such partial morphology. And another process that was developed is based on this is actually we have developed for a strategic requirement. So the nitrile latex is currently being used by the defense sector, is imported from Russia and all. So they wanted to have a process, indigenous process here. The nitrile latex is a copolymer, terpolymer of butadiene, acrylonitrile, and one acid comonomer. So we have developed this process, and the key parameters are the acrylonitrile content and how the properties are influenced, as well as the carboxyl content. And we have also developed a composite of this with the carbon nanoparticles that will be useful in strategic applications. So we have also compare the different properties like density, the strength, elongation in comparison with the imported material also, it features well with the imported material. So this process technology is also available for commercialization. Here, this is a schematic of the carbon composite that has been studied. For example, we have studied with graphene. Graphene, we have developed a lab scale process for graphene production. And so with a very low concentration of graphene, the maximum properties can be achieved for these composite films. These are some samples. So the graphene is a wonder material that has been predicted in different applications because its outstanding properties like higher surface area, then higher strength, then current carry conductivity properties, thermal conductivity in different analyses. Just innovation work that has been developed on a lab scale process. So here again, we have used some of the monomers derived from cashew nut, and we have taken the hydrogenated cardamom and then attaching this to the graphene sheets improves the realization of the properties of the graphene, because graphene is a monolayer of carbon atoms, and in actual conditions it is difficult to separate the different layers, carbon layers. So the chemical method available is to attach some polymer chains or small molecules to this graphene layer through appropriate techniques, and this improves the functional properties of the material. What we end up is the graphene nanocomposite system. And so using these natural monomers based on cashew nut shell liquid has some advantage in imparting surface properties or the thermal properties of this system. This is the monomer alone, and this is a polymer solution, and this is the composite, carbon composite film. And this is a schematic of the chemical approaches that has been used for the, if there are any students, they may be. So they are attached with this polymer chain. The advantage of this biomonomer is that it has got a 15 carbon alkyl chain that helps in function, not only in functionalization, separating the different carbon layers in the composite and improves the property. And that too, with very less concentration of the graphene, we can achieve the maximum properties. So we have evaluated the properties in adhesive, pressure sensitive adhesives. For example, the lab shear strength and peel strength, and then bonded specimens, which shows with less than 1 weight% of the graphene or carbon itself, it shows almost 10 times increase in the adhesion strength on different substrate. Paper, and PET substrate, the behavior is different for different substrates. So this has been tested. So the advantage, we have also done some SWOT analysis of this developmental activities. We have a well-trained team with interdisciplinary expertise, and then supportive management and periodic review of the developments. And currently we are at the established proof of concept stage. So it offers opportunity for networking with other laboratories, because for the leather application, we have developed this expertise in collaboration with there is a CSIR lab specifically for leather research in Chennai. So we have collaborated with them. So as I have already highlighted, the product has reduced carbon footprint, and a water-based process is used, and the growth of the leather industry is another attribute. And then the weaknesses are the control of functional properties for leather application. For example, it may require further fine-tuning to use in some specific application, for example, in leather finishing or as a leather coating. And then the pilot scale and testing, the pilot scale manufacture is again, it has to be established, and which requires substantial funding. And then there may be competition, like there are already products available in the market from different multinational companies or some of the Indian companies also. So this may be, and then there may be some vested business interest in promoting some particular products, or it has to be properly engaged with the proper stakeholders for successful commercialization. So this is again about the institution. We have around 250 PhD students and around 200 students working in different projects, and the total there are around 80 scientists and then technical and admin staff. Altogether, it's around 160 permanent staff, and the permanent number of PhDs awarded is also increasing over the years. So in terms of the academic publications, we are also at par with or better compared to any other national institutions, with a very good impact factor, average impact factor above 5. And then the patents are also increasing, but it's again depends on the commercial utility and the company's interest in pursuing the patent application. Nevertheless, we have been filing patents in India abroad for important innovations. So these are some of the unique facilities our institute is having in the, it's the country's only institution having a dioxin research facility. Recently, there was a fire in Cochin, and we have conducted on-site studies to assess the dioxin content. So the burning of municipal solid waste is a bigger problem. And so this is our lab. We have recently established a unique facility for this dioxin testing. And then this is another facility, that is supercritical fluid extraction unit, which may be useful for some of the bio-based oil, or without losing their special characteristics. And then we have also recently established studies food the bioavailability and GI research center, where the glycemic response of different food materials can be estimated using this facility. So this is I don't know whether it's a list of technologies that is available from the various divisions, which may be, there is no point in reading all this. And then the bioprocess, then environmental related and functional materials, for example, the polyurethane dispersions that is available. And in the field of health, herbal formulations are there, then metallic materials, the technology is there, energy related technologies are also available, which has been published in the form of a technology compendium, which I have shared recently with the CASMB, is already available. You can have a look for further detail. And we have also come closer to increase our translational innovation. We have come near to Mumbai, where CSIR has started an innovation complex, where established lab facilities are available. So any of the interested parties are always welcome to take our technology and translate any joint developmental work for further applications. So with this, I conclude. Thank you, and I am available for any further discussions.
Thank you so much, sir, for the time and such insightful session. Can I now ask all the participants to please put up their queries or anything that they want to, have or they want to know from Dr. Suresh?
Uh, Excellent information, Dr. Suresh. Though I
Thank you.
work in the field of sustainability, I am not a chemical engineer, and I take a lot of interest in knowing different technologies. But yet, this area is absolutely Greek and Latin for me. But today, the first time I could understand a little bit of how this works. My, I have two questions.
Please.
The products which are used after all what you have said, where you are taking a lot of products, checking out for their chemical qualities and replacing it with natural products. Number one question is, would this in a long run reduced the carcinogenic impact, particularly in products like polyurethane and automobile products, and you mentioned textiles, because and other products. So one is the question whether it will reduce impact of carcinogenic
Yeah.
impact. That's number one. And number second is if the manufacturers use these products, would they be compliant, better compliant for extended producers responsibility, what we call is EPR? So as a
Yes.
lay person, this is what comes to my mind.
Yeah. For example, if if the surfactants are based on the cashew nut shell liquid, so there will be more environment friendly, and it is considered as a replacement for the nonyl phenol ethoxylates, which are used as surfactants which are considered toxic to the environment. So there have been studies reported in the international literature, and some international companies are also showing interest in developing such products.
Because you mentioned a couple of companies like DuPont and I don't remember all the names, but they are using kind of a lot of such products, and we really don't know the impact,
Yeah.
particularly in textiles. It's very difficult to find out what are the impacts of in the long run on your skin or impact, but
Yeah, even the European Commission, the REACH guidelines, they promote the use of sustainable materials for the
true.
textile chemicals or leather chemicals.
Yeah, and now that many companies, particularly those 1,000 companies, who have to file BRSR report, business responsibility and sustainability reporting, they have to really give detailed data on what products they use, and they have to reach out to third
Yeah,
tier of supply chain.
yes. So with this objective only, Mumbai is the manufacturing capital of Maharashtra. Gujarat is the manufacturing capital of the country. So with this effort only, we have come closer to, as I am mentioning, the CSIR Innovation Complex in Mumbai, where any of the industrial units, if they want to take any technologies available with the CSIR labs, they can have a startup jointly with the CSIR lab and start their activity in Mumbai itself. Any advanced R&D facilities if they want to. And they can also, there are some fundamental or basic R&D facilities already established there. So these company MSME units may not have such facilities. So they can also utilize these facilities available. Rent, it will be for basically for startups, 2 to 3 years time is there, incubation time is there. Apart from this, we also have an innovation center in Trivandrum in our laboratory. So at any of these places, the interested parties can incubate a facility.
Fantastic. My last question, a short one, is industries which are engaged in such activities of manufacturing products related to this. If I missed out, my apologies. As an institute, do you also extend consultancy of companies?
We industrial requirements we take up in different formats. For example, R&D collaboration is there. Then we take up, for example, a specific product development is required. Then we take it as a sponsored project. And we also offer a technical consultancy.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. I will definitely share information with my clients wherever I do consultancy or audits or something. But excellent coverage. First time I came to know about this much thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nilesh, for organizing.
Can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, please.
So, for a bio-based material, if you take any material and compare it with its traditional synthetic version, have you compared the degradation rates or something? End of life fate, is it any better just because it is a bio-based material?
Yeah, we haven't studied, but we have been doing related studies by using bio-based material. For example, we have developed some coatings for paper coatings. useful in packaging. So where we have found that the biodegradability is better for the bio-based material coated paper.
No, in comparison with the traditional synthetic material?
Yeah, in comparison with the synthetic traditional materials only, this will be more biodegradable.
Okay. No, will be, or have you studied it? Because my worry is many times, just because it is a biosourced material, there is an intuitive assumption that it will be better biodegradable. But have you verified it?
No,
That's
we have done some studies. I don't have the data because,
okay.
as I have mentioned, there are several groups. We have done such studies. We have also established facility to carry out the comparison biodegradation study, particularly over 3 months, 6 months, like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nilesh sir has a question. So can I ask you on
Yeah.
behalf of him, please?
Please.
Dr. Sudesh, can you explain more about the CSIR Innovation Center and Tech Transfer Center in Mumbai, and how can members reach out?
How to?
How can the members reach out?
Yeah, you just send a mail to either to me or to our director. I suggest that you please visit the NIST website, or you can send a mail to me saying that this one so particular technology is of interest to you and you want to hire some space. For example, the Mumbai facility is we have, as I have shown, established lab facility around 600 square feet, and the square feet, the tentative rates are all finalized, and based on your requirement of the space you want to occupy, as well as the, yeah, we can arrive at a mutual MOU and you can start working. We can rent out that space if required.
Understood, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being with us here today and giving your time to CSMB.
Shivanshi, can I come in for a
Yeah,
second?
yeah.
If everybody has a comfort level to on the camera for just split seconds, Shivanshi probably can take a snapshot. Shivanshi, is that a good idea?
Sure thing, ma'am. Sure thing.
So we can have it, we can share it with our members, and it's easier to see picture. It speaks 1,000
Yeah.
words at any given time.
Please, later sometime you will meet in person. Some familiarity will be there.
Sure. I'll definitely contact you for our clients and also for CSMB members.
Sure.
And Suresh, can put your email at.
See, this is what I have given is a glimpse of the activities which I have been pursuing in the chemicals and materials. Like this, we can have webinars related to food processing technology, then chemical science, the pharma side, and then environmental technologies. That is also possible.
Noted, sir. Thank you so much. I would also like to extend a very, very big thank you to the participants who had joined today with us. And Elisa mentioned that it is always good to have new members in CSMA, and we, as I've also mentioned in the beginning, that even we want your experience, even we want you all to share what you have been, the knowledge and everything. So I have shared a short Google form in the chat. So if everyone in the like the participants, if you can please fill that form, it would be really helpful for us to reach out to you further. So can everyone please fill the form? I've mentioned that in the chat box. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you very
Dr.
much for
Suresh.
the
Thanks for
opportunity.
everything.
Thank you.
And we really look forward to collaborate with you further and to, reach out to our members if they have any. As Madhuri ma'am, asked you the right question if you provide a consultation. So that would be great for our members as well.
You are always welcome to approach us with any problems, technical queries, or anything issue.
That is really, really kind of you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to the
Thank
participants,
you.
Alim sir, Prakash sir, everyone, Raji sir. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.
Thank you
Thank you.
very
Have
much.
a nice.
It was a very informative session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Same to
You
you.
too.